A house explosion rocks a neighborhood near downtown Ann Arbor, leaving nothing but rubble in its wake. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Priya Mann.
And I'm Kim DeGiulio. The explosion happened around 5 a.m. this morning on South 7th Street near Princeton Avenue along the border of Ann Arbor's Eberwhite and Old West Side neighborhoods. Rod Maloney is live near the scene. And Rod, looking at that aftermath, it's a miracle that nobody was seriously hurt.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And let's go and take a closer look at what is left of this home. You can see that they're now constructing a fence around the rubble because the home is gone. It has collapsed into the basement, and it is a miracle that nobody was hurt. The gentleman who lived here is in his 70s and was, well, he collapsed out here. He did make it out of the house. How that happened, they're having sort of a difficulty explaining, but he was heating with propane inside the house, meaning that there were like the canisters that you buy at the store, and then they come with a little heater that goes into the top of that, and they say that that's what he was using. In a very sad situation, he was able to get out of the house. You can see the boarded walls or the boarded windows in the home next door. It was right there. I mean, it's only a few feet away. And one of the windows fell in on a woman who was asleep at the time. But the gentleman who lived here did get out safely, and they took him to an ambulance and then brought him to the hospital. They say he's going to be okay with non-life-threatening injuries, but one of the neighbors did tell me that he did collapse. So let's hear from one of the neighbors who was in on this. His name is Fred Hutchinson, lives right across the street. This is what he had to say. We'll also be hearing from the Ann Arbor Fire Chief, Mike Kennedy.
And then at 6 o'clock, the whole house rattled. Like I've had fireworks go off in the neighborhood and stuff. This was 10 times louder than any firework I've ever heard.
So it shook the house.
Oh yeah, the windows rattled. And
DT does the gas for the area. We confirmed with DT that the meter had been shut off for an undetermined amount of time. The occupant, we've heard from neighbors, was using propane to heat the house. The water, we also determined, had been shut off to the house too. Oh. So looks like there was both utility. There was electric going there, but gas and water had been shut off.
So city services have been out here. They had a street sweeper because there was glass all across the street, went across into Fred's yard as well. Fred said that there were more explosions, just the one original one. And the other thing he said was that this went very quickly. In other words, there was the explosion, and then all of a sudden, within seconds, the whole house was on fire. The entire neighborhood called 911, fire department here in about 4 minutes. And so it is one of those lucky things where nobody got hurt, and there were 3 people living in the house next door, and they were fine. And in fact, they just left and were heading off to get their day started. But it's one of those things where there's a lot more to talk about here, and we'll have more on that coming up on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. Reporting live from Ann Arbor, Rod Maloney, Local 4.